Natalia Bayona, Executive Director at the UN Tourism. It's always a pleasure to welcome you for a conversation with the Peninsula. Sustainability is one of the core elements of tourism, and UN Tourism has a vital role in it. Let me begin by asking you this. What are the key issues faced by the world in terms of achieving a greener objective, and how does the UN Tourism contribute, particularly in this region and beyond?
So, first of all, thank you for the invitation to join Peninsula on a Friday in the amazing Doha. I have to say that, of course, when we talk about sustainable tourism, it's a strong matter that we need to face. When we talk about sustainability, of course, it's very important to mind natural resources, but as well to mind the social impact that we are giving to people. Think that tourism is the most human economic sector. And last but not least, of course, to assure that we have sustainable economic growth, because at the end of the day, tourism is an industry. So with this said, what we are doing in UN tourism, first of all, when it comes to investments, this is really key. We have been working with the governments from all around the world to help them to create new investment frameworks, new promotion incentives in order to bring more renewable energies to hotels, to bring sustainability technologies to create new systems when it comes to waste management, to include rural and community and social tourism into the most modern agenda, and of course, working together with the private sector in order to help them to make tourism a more, not only a strong economic sector, but also a more sustainable. So here in the Middle East, of course, we launched last year in our World Tourism Day. The thematic was about green investments. In Saudi Arabia, we received all our members from the region, and of course, from all around, to talk with the private sector and to have a frank discussion on how we can involve more communities, more local, and at the end of the day, to sustain a model that can serve everybody.
What is your take on Qatari investments when it comes to leisure? As per the UN database, have you seen a hike in spending?
I love investments, and I have to say that I'm very passionate about investments because it's impossible to talk about tourism without public, private, and of course, investment in the most important part of tourism, that is people. So the Qatari data is absolutely impressive. When you see Qatar, I give you 5 points related to investments. First of all, Qatar today, thanks to the investment in promotion to bring top events like the Web Summit on Technologies, like, of course, FIFA during the last years, among others, UN conferences as well. Today, Qatar, if you compare the performance destinations, 2024 data versus 2019, Qatar is the first one. Qatar has been growing tourism in more than 147%, followed by countries like Albania, Salvador, Saudi Arabia. That's impressive because we are leading the way through emerging destinations. Second point, when I read our joint collaboration with the Financial Times when it comes to tourism investments, Qatar have received foreign direct investment in the tourism sector, and the investments have accounted more than 1 billion coming from, of course, UAE as a neighbor, Thailand, Australia. So again, emerging destinations are investing in emerging destinations. And last but not least, of course, when it comes to expenditure, and when you visit Doha, you have seen the before and after piece. Thanks to FIFA, there are new hotels like this one, like the Fairmont Hotel that was built 2 years ago just for the purpose of FIFA, but now is ready to keep improving. I have seen kids today in the elevator. I have seen families. So that's the way from Africa, from the UK. So we need to keep promoting, of course, the solid economy and the stability that this country have in order to keep those data stable and diversifying as a way to diversify the economy.
Now that leads me to another question on the agreements of the UN tourism and entities in Qatar. Can we expect any further strategic partnership for the foreseeable future?
I'm here in Qatar because we are celebrating the Qatar Tourism Awards. So we are, of course, recognizing people that are working on innovation, that are working and doing their best efforts to showcase the best that a Qatari has, that is his country. So we are working on a technical cooperation project related to promotion. We are working on innovation and technology as well. So we are meeting the authorities from the Qatar Tourism National Board so that we can assure that for next year we can work in different matters, artificial intelligence, startups, innovation, and of course, we have been working for so long with Qatar Foundation related on education. That is one of my passions because to educate youth, to educate the people is the only way to sustain this sector and, of course, to make this sector an added value sector. So we expect a strong visit with, of course, very positive results.
Now, as you've mentioned, you're here for the Qatar Tourism Awards in Doha and the vibrant local community that has backed several accolades. So what message do you think they are conveying to the world outside? And in the long run, how do you see the national tourism sector playing its part?
So a message that I can give to the young generations and, of course, to the techies is that whatever you want to build is possible. And in this world that today is hyper-connected, Qatar has an amazing opportunity. It's a solid economy, full of stability, full of commitment from the government, because when you see the sovereign fund is investing in developing new touristic vehicles to support entrepreneurs. So this is the perfect moment to use them. And the good thing is that this stability can help the country and can help the entrepreneurs to pilot easily technologies. So count on UN Tourism. And of course, we have different projects related to innovation, startup competitions, like the Women in Tech startup competition that we did for the Middle East. We will launch soon an artificial intelligence startup competition. And the good thing about all of these is that we help them to showcase their results, not only in Qatar, but also in the rest of the world, so that ministers, the private sector, the big companies, the big hotels, the big airlines can see where is the future and the present of tourism, because that's something really important. The young generation, we are the present of tourism, as we are the most employed in this amazing human sector.
I'm sure you're aware of the events hosted by this country, like the FIFA World Cup, Formula One, and various other global forums. From the UN tourism point of view, do you think that these events are driving the industry further? And where do you think Qatar's tourism is placed on the global race?
That's very important because I have to say that when you talk about tourism, is really mandatory, if I can say, to have three components. First component is air connectivity, because of course, without air connectivity, you're not able to survive and to bring tourism. And you have the best airline in the world, that is Qatar Airways, and that is really connecting the whole world and is investing as well in different emerging countries to develop tourism. So that's impressive, and that's a very strong asset, connectivity and having a good airline serving everybody in a global scope. Second point, of course, to have the infrastructure. You already have it because thanks to powerful events, that's the good of bringing powerful events to the country. That's an opportunity to promote the country brand, to promote the values, to promote the gastronomy, to promote the local communities, to promote the history as well of a country. And of course, to expect that after the event or the mega event goes, you can keep using those infrastructures for the good of the nationals, but of course, for bringing new tourists. And this is happening as well. Look at Paris with the Olympics. They did an amazing job as well. And now with that performance, everyone is looking at Los Angeles because of FIFA again and because of the Olympics. So those mega brands are always key to help on the positioning of the country abroad. And last but not least, of course, the kindness of the people. And I feel that in Qatar, with the openness of the country, there are a lot of internationals living here. There are a lot of Qataris that aim to have these events. So the country at the end of the day is prepared. So the data is showing that you're doing well.
Natalia Bayona, thank you for your time with the Peninsula.
Thank you so much to you. And of course, let's keep working together to promote this sector, the most human economic sector, the youth sector. And of course, thank you again for this kind invitation.
Indeed, thank you.